They said it was a myth. Heck, I didn't believe it myself until I had done the research. I didn't know whether or not to believe it. I didn't want to believe it. Until I discovered it. It was such a sloppy mistake, I can't believe they had missed it. But me, I had found it. And I finally had proof. I had finally got them. Gotcha. But I had to ask somebody about it. And I knew just the people. A quick SOS later, and the message had been sent. And then, it was up to me. It was up to me to make the final call. Hey, what's that smell? No. Yes, this video was sponsored by the Magic Candle Company. Visit themagiccandlecompany.com and use offer code OFFHAND15 for 15% off your entire purchase. Stay tuned until the end of the video for more info. And now, the truth. Disney's Dark Kingdom is an oft-proliferated idea of a new land, a fifth gate at Walt Disney World, or a third or second gate at Disneyland. This park, though, instead of being based on the princesses and heroes and fun feel-good stories of Disney's animated movies, would be based on the darker side, the villains. The rumor of this new Disney park had been circulating in the Disney fandom for years, and I was determined to find out where it came from, and if there was any validity to the claims of this park coming soon to the Disney resorts. And so I took to the internet and found the earliest blog post I could find that referenced Dark Kingdom, even though I'm fairly certain there are earlier ones. An article under Walt Disney World Never Built on the WDW Info forums called Once Upon a Time in a Faraway Land, written by Chuck Marachi. The article reads as follows. Typically, everyone loves the good Disney characters, or the Disney heroes such as Mickey Mouse, Goofy, Cinderella, and Snow White. Until recently, it was not cool to like the villains. Now, not only do guests want to have their picture taken with Maleficent, Lady Tremaine and the Stepsisters, Captain Hook, Jafar, and others, but now Disney villains have their own mix and mingle show at Disney's not-so-scary Halloween party. In fact, a few years ago, Disney considered giving the villains their very own theme park. Dark Kingdom was proposed somewhere on the Orlando property. In contrast to the Magic Kingdom, Dark Kingdom not only was to have had attractions based on Captain Hook, Ursula, and other Disney villains, but its own iconic symbol. The park's centerpiece was to have been Maleficent's castle. This could still be a very viable, fun, and exciting park with the potential for more spectacular thrill rides, but with the recent acquisition of Marvel, this park may just be too far in the abyss. When it came to Dark Kingdom as a land instead of a park, you would find it as the new Shadowlands area in the Magic Kingdom. The area was proposed to be built behind Tomorrowland and would have attractions based on The Little Mermaid, and yes, Night on Bald Mountain, featuring the best Disney villain ever, Chernabog. And that's not really open for deliberation, it's more scientific fact. There are papers written on this thing. I mean, I wrote most of the papers, but still, it's a scientific fact, according to me. Now that's all the article has to say about Dark Kingdom, but the thing with rumors is that they spread and they grow, and this thing spread. Every couple of months the same rumor would show up on different message boards, and the skeleton, the kind of details and outlines of the rumor remained the same every single time. Disney has, or at one point, had plans for a villain-themed park that never ended up coming to fruition. And the centerpiece was always an evil, corrupted version of Sleeping Beauty or Cinderella Castle, in this case, Maleficent's castle, but in other cases there would be different evil castles thrown into the mix. And I can say without a shadow of a doubt that, up until recently, this was completely false and completely fictional. This had no bearing in reality, it was completely made up by people on the internet. Let me explain. Nobody really knows where this rumor came from, but if I were to hazard a very educated guess, I would have to say it came from the original plan for Beastly Kingdom at Disney's Animal Kingdom, where there would exist two separate areas within the land, a happy-go-lucky enchanted kingdom, and then a twisted, burning, cursed, dark kingdom. The centerpiece of said Dark Kingdom would be a ruined, disheveled castle. Does that sound familiar to you guys at all? And of course, the land was going to have a very fast roller coaster ride through the Dragon's Lair, which is where I'm assuming the Night on Bald Mountain roller coaster rumor came from. And with people constantly wanting to be the ones to spread the rumor or talk to their friends about the inside scoop regarding Disney's new 5th park or new land, this thing ended up catching on quick because it seemed like it could be a realistic possibility for the time, and even today. Now, I did mention that up until lately, this was completely false and completely fictional, but recently Disney has been leaving different kinds of breadcrumbs, suggesting that something like this, along the lines of a villain-themed area or entertainment, could be coming in the future. Exhibit A: the Disney Villains After Hours celebration. You see, you know how at Disneyland, mostly every night the park is open until midnight and you can just sort of wander out very slowly until like maybe even 1 a.m. if you linger? You see, you can do the same thing at Walt Disney World, but they make you pay extra, where you'd be treated to cool versions of photo ops and attractions featuring the Disney villains. Interesting. And to top it off, they also put live actors in Pirates of the Caribbean for some reason in the queue. That was fantastic, and I really hope they keep doing this, especially for like the Halloween party or maybe even at the Haunted Mansion. I don't know. Meanwhile, over at Disneyland for Halloween, there is another paid event, this time actually not at Disneyland, but over at California Adventure called Oogie Boogie Bash, which has been leaning more and more into the spookier side of things. Not necessarily scary, I wouldn't say it was scary, just more spooky and unnerving, especially the Villains Grove, an amazing area where you can walk through and view different sets and effects for the Disney villains. Interesting how they keep coming up. Now, why is any of this happening? Well, I think it bears mentioning that Disney is using these after-hours events and these Oogie Boogie Bashes to introduce the villains to us and to gauge public reaction as to how much they would enjoy a villains-themed area or maybe park. You see, this is what we gamers like to call a beta test. With Disney gauging people's interest as to how they feel about the villains and villain-themed events, I think that someday, maybe, that we may see Dark Kingdom come to be. Not because all the circulating rumors were true, they weren't, but because the demand for it was so high and the rumors gave rise to the idea. The odds of a 5th gate at Walt Disney World being based solely around the villains and us finally getting that Night on Bald Mountain roller coaster? Very slim. I don't think that's going to happen. But the odds of us getting more villain-themed or even spookier-themed entertainment, or dare I even say expansions at the Disney park, I think right now, the odds of that are higher than ever, especially with the success of Oogie Boogie Bash and the Villains After Hours. But until the day comes when I can finally ride that Chernobog roller coaster, we're just going to have to make do with rumors circulating every 2 or 3 months about the new park that's definitely going to happen and has totally not been a rumor for tens of years. And every time you see an article pop up about Disney's Dark Kingdom announced or Disney's Dark Kingdom planned that's not from Disney itself, don't believe a word. Believe me, there are people out there who believe this is entirely the truth, but I don't think anybody aside from Disney Imagineering themselves really knows the truth. But for all we know, Dark Kingdom may be lurking out there in the shadows somewhere, waiting patiently for the opportune time to sell us Surrounded by Idiots Scar t-shirts. And just like that, it was over. I discussed the rumors and the history of rumors of Disney's Dark Kingdom. Was there really going to be a 5th gate based around the Disney villains with a Chernobog roller coaster that eventually turned into Expedition Everest? No, there wasn't going to be. And I was going to make sure of that. I was going to the Walt Disney Archives, and I was going to find out for myself once and for all whether or not Dark Kingdom was truly just a rumor. And deep in the catacombs, I finally found it. Wait, what's that smell? I had found the smell of the truth. Oh, right, it's that spot. All right, let's do it. Odds are, if you're diving deep into Disney's catacombs in search of the truth behind Dark Kingdom, your hands are going to get a little dirty, physically and metaphorically. And if you're infiltrating the Walt Disney Archives, why not smell like your favorite Disney attraction or resort? Well, it seems like the Magic Candle Company has you covered, and if you would like 15% off your order of soap, please use the code OFFHAND15. You'll help the channel out, and you'll help me out as well. Idiot. With so many scents to choose from, it's hard to make up your mind. Hey, wait a second. Visit MagicCandleCompany.com, use offer code OFFHAND15 for 15% off your purchase, and now, End card. Hello everybody, thank you all so much for watching this video. We'll just get the formalities out of the way, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe, hit the bell button. If you're new around here and you like this video, maybe you want some more like it. But now on to the nitty gritty. Guys, if you haven't watched the Foolish Mortals podcast yet, I'm not quite sure what you guys are thinking. Okay, it's the best podcast on YouTube right now, and that's certified. It's in the top 100 podcasts in Portugal, and now if we make it in the top 100 in the US, then it'll be 2 countries where our podcast is in the top 100. You know how cool that is. So guys, if you haven't listened, if you haven't watched yet, you're doing yourself a major disservice. Go over there right now as soon as you can. You won't regret it. In other news, if you'd like early access to videos like my Patreon supporters did earlier this week or later last week, make sure to head over to the link in the description to my Patreon page, and even just $1 gets you access to most of the perks. And also a massive thank you to LMG Vids, a friend of mine who provides lots of footage I use in my videos. I'll have a title little column circle up there for you guys to click on. Just go click on it, go to his channel, subscribe, like, watch all of his ride-throughs. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I have one of those now. I'll put a link in the description. Why not? And I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.